Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this flip through, walkthrough, exploration of the Boo Tarot by Celia Melville. Okay, so I actually got this deck in a bit ago, but I wanted to take the time to go through it card by card and share it with you during October because I just feel like this is such a fun October-y deck. And I know that it's a deck that's good outside of October too, but this is the kind of thing that I will probably really enjoy reaching for during the season, and I just thought it'd be a really fun time to share it with you. The Boo Tarot, Celia Melville is the creator of the Lily White, the Lily Black, and the Tarot Renard, which I also have, which is a Fox Tarot. And this is so fun. When I found out that this was coming out, I was pretty excited because it's so adorable. And this fabric, there's a story. Shortly after this deck was announced, and it was still being created, it was a long time ago, it feels like. Shortly after that, Peggy and I stumbled on this really adorable ghosty fabric at the fabric store, and I made Peggy buy some of it and not sell it right away. I think it was really hard to do. I feel like she sold a couple bags out of it, and then I kept arguing. I was like, no, don't sell it yet. Wait for Boo Tarot to come out because it's like the best. It's the best Boo Tarot fabric. I'm a dork, I know. And all these like little neon outlined ghosties, they glow in the dark. How fun. Anyways, I had to show it off because it was just, I've seen fabrics with ghosts on them, but none that were quite this cute. So I had to, but I had this bag for myself for ages and ages until this deck finally came in. But anyway, enough about that bag. Let's put this just over here out of the way, but still visible because it's so cute. Because yeah, hashtag YouTuber life. Anyway, the Boo Tarot. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into it. So it comes in a clamshell style box, which is just like the box that the Tarot Renard came in. And it also has, look at how cute. It's got these kind of like, it's kind of a, I guess it's not a hollow foil. It's just a silver foiling, but it's really cute. Look at the ghosties and the pumpkins. Okay, anyway, it does come with these bilingual keyword cards. I'll just zoom you in so you can kind of see what these look like. So they have, just for every card, it's like a quick reference, right? I just keep mine at the bottom because I'm unlikely to refer to something like this when I also have a guidebook. It does come with a little guidebook, which is bilingual French-English. So there's a French, oh, I'm really zoomed in, sorry. There's a French side and then there's the English side. So this is here with the meanings. It's a very easy deck to read without this though, so I haven't been referring to it much. So let's get into the deck itself. Ooh, let's zoom us back out. So it has really pretty. Now these foils are holographic. They do shift in tone, so you can see the full rainbow in them. Red, orange, yellow, green. Yeah, you can find it if you catch it in the light just right. So really cool on the backings. And it is a really weird cardstock. So it feels like cardboard, like a really thin cardboard. It doesn't feel like it has a core, like you can even see. I barely kind of messed with that one, and it just, whatever shape you bend it into, that's the shape it stays in. There's no snapback, which is a little disappointing. I feel like we waited for this for a long time, and the cardstock just doesn't feel, it feels kind of floppy and kind of squishy, and it doesn't feel like it's going to hold up real well. So that was a bit of a bummer. The cards themselves are really cute, but yeah, they don't have a core. You can definitely do the light test on them, and you can see the card through. They're so pretty, but I almost feel like some of these flashier details maybe meant that the cardstock wasn't going to be as good. But yeah, I've not even really used my deck that much, and you can kind of see almost a wave from when I've shuffled it, because it definitely holds that shape. So it's going to get kind of waffly and warped feeling, which again, bummer. My Tarot Renard does hold a bit of a bend as well, and I don't believe my Tarot Renard has a core, but there's something about the Tarot Renard cardstock that just feels, it's got give to it. This one, when you bend it, it's kind of unsatisfying. I don't know how else to describe it. And, you know, for all that being said, the artwork is absolutely delightful and adorable, and we're going to go through it. But I just really wanted to highlight that piece because I know for some people that can be a bit of a deal breaker. But if you have the Tarot Renard, the cardstock is not identical. It doesn't have that stiffness or that snap that the Tarot Renard still manages to have. So production stuff aside, though, oh my goodness, this deck is delightful. So we're going to go through it, but it is so stinking cute. And you will notice that the ghosties on the Major Arcana have this sparkly spot gloss on them. So you see how it's got more gloss, but then also there's this like shimmery, rainbowy shimmery. I guess it's not rainbowy. It's kind of like a blue-green, kind of almost three-dimensional shimmer to them, which is such a fun addition to the card. I think for myself personally, though, I would have given that up to have a snappier cardstock, personally speaking. But it is delightful. It is delightful. So let's get into it. We start off with the Fool. So we do have bilingual titles here at the bottom. Really, really cute. I love that we have our ghostie just kind of traipsing off along the edge of this gargoyle-esque, what do you call it, like ledge on a castle wall. There's a little bat hanging underneath, completely oblivious, and there's a bat friend up here following him. So very traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. He's got a little flower. He's smiling. He looks really happy. The Magician card, okay, I adore this. I adore that our Magician is literally there making a bubbling potion as we speak with the cauldron bubbling, these little bricks behind. He's got a spell book. He's kind of coming out of the wall. And he's got a little like kind of witch hat. So freaking cute. The High Priestess is great. Her chair is covered in pomegranates, reminiscent of the pomegranates on the veil in the Rider-Waite-Smith card. There's a black candle on a dark stack of books, mostly blues. Or I guess it's a blue candle with a blue flame. And then there's a golden candle or a light-colored candle with a light flame on these other books stack over here. The little crescent moon in the water is in this bottle, and we have the crescent moon behind in the sky. So all of the Rider-Waite-Smith symbology is there that I would normally be looking for, so you can really tell that Celia knows the cards really well, like the tarot. The Empress, she's darling. I love her. I love all the little baby ghosties and little mushrooms and the garden-esque atmosphere of this card. It's really sweet. And the Emperor here with his brick wall, all the little skulls on his throne. Feels very commanding. We've got all the red that I would like to see on my Emperor card. And what is he holding? Is it a spade? It looks like he has a spade and a plate of dirt. But maybe I'm reading that wrong. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. The Hierophant, also great. I like, this is kind of like a spiralesque, almost labyrinthian kind of structure here at the base of this tree. And he looks like he's like chanting or doing some kind of ritual. So I think that's really, really cool. Definitely brings the spiritual vibes. And we have the keys here dangling from the tree. The Lovers, so sweet. A bat presiding over. We have like a little Cupid ghost kind of getting ready to shoot an arrow. And a little flame over here. So again, really sweet symbology showing up here. The Chariot is our bat, who is, it's a ghostie that's like flying with the bat. I love that. I love that so much. It's so cute. The Strength card. I really enjoy this because this really comes into alignment with the way that I view the Strength card, which often has to do in my practice. A lot of times the Strength card is about looking at your own inner wild or your inner shadows and kind of harmonizing with those. So we can see the shadow of the ghost kind of looming up behind him, but he's staying very centered and calm and really is staying in a space of alignment with himself. I love that. The Hermit, it's grand. It's grand. He's up in the mountains with his lantern. Perfect. I've seen, is it Krista? I think it might be Krista over at Crochet Witch Tarot who has talked about this card so much, but it is delightful. I know Kyra gushed about this too, but you have a really cool take on the Wheel of Fortune here. There's a laundry machine and you have 3 dirty ghosts. You have 2 clean ghosts hanging up. And then inside the laundry machine, one ghostie is being tumbled around, but he's smiling. So you definitely get the feeling of like the tumultuous nature of change and the fact that things will be different. But you can really look at, and I swear I'm getting this right from Krista's mouth, or somebody's mouth, either Krista's or Kyra's, talking about how, you know, you can really look at no matter what part of the change you're in, that there's a way to find joy in it. So I really thought that was cool. The Justice card, very classic. We've got the fire and the water and the scales. I like that our ghost is winking. The Hanged Man, the little ghostie hanging up with the bats. It's perfect. I love the sweet watercolor. I'm a real fan of watercolor art, but I really love how soft everything is. I really like the state of the night sky in the background. Death. I like how it looks like this ghost is taking a bite out of the tombstone. But you also have this like little ghosty kind of like spirit lifting up. It looks to me, actually, now that I'm looking at it, it literally looks like this ghost is coming up from his grave. And this ghost here is like basically all excitedly ready to welcome him, which is super interesting take on the Death card. The Temperance card. I like that we have the flame on this side and the water on this side and that the ghost is holding, but then on the outside you have the opposite. So you get that idea of sort of harmonizing of opposites. The Devil card with the candy is fantastic, like a whole big bunch of trick-or-treat candy. Just delicious. This is great. This is the last time, okay, wait, let me back up. The last time I saw a tower card like this where you could really see the sort of mischief and almost the empowerment in the card was the Everyday Witch Tarot, where it looks like the witch has set the tower on fire herself. You're getting that same kind of energy here, only it almost feels like pranky. Like these two characters, this one's got matches and is winking, this one's giggling and is holding a lit match, and there's the tower on fire. But then these ghosts aren't very happy about it. So it's an interesting take. It doesn't necessarily feel, I started to say empowering, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, there's almost a little trickstery energy to this tower, a little bit of mischief going on. I really like this star card. Something about the umbrella and having the star within oneself, but then also the stars on the outside. It's really sweet. The moon, the little sleepy ghost. We still have a dog and a wolf though here, which I love. The sun. I do really enjoy when there's two characters in the sun card. I enjoy that more than I used to, for sure. I do like all the sunflowers on the card. Judgment. Here again, we have ghosts coming up out of their bodies, like spirits coming up out of their bodies. I almost wish the two little bats weren't there. I feel like, you know, I don't know why, but they feel like they're messing with my mind a little. I don't know how to describe it. They're just interfering with the image a little in my mind. That's a better way to put it. The pumpkin spice latte for the world card is so great. I love that the ghostie is almost like as a marshmallow floating on the surface of this pumpkin spice beverage. It's really cute. There's something super charming and just genuinely adorable about this deck all the way through. Our Ace of Wands, no complaint, very Rider-Waite-Smith. I did notice that all the aces have a rainbow somewhere on the card, so that's a fun little thing. Love the scrying sphere, the sort of crystal ball gazing for the Two of Wands. I think that makes a lot of sense with this card. Love this Three of Wands. A lot of times I feel like artists don't clearly distinguish the difference between these two cards strongly enough, in my opinion. But so for me, the Two of Wands is very much about planning and considering possibilities, whereas the Three is very much on, we've picked a path and we're now starting to walk it. So I really like this here. It's like the setting off card. Yes, love the celebrating here in the Four of Wands. I mean, clearly, if you know the Rider-Waite-Smith, you'll have no problem reading this deck. The Five of Wands in the middle of the storm having their little battle. The Six of Wands. Love that. He's riding on pumpkins, not a horse. I think that's great. The sassy defensive look on this dude's face is everything. It's so perfect for that card. Eight of Wands. I like when it's not just 8 wands. I mean, they're bones in this deck, but he's riding on them. So it's more than just the wands flying through the air, which I appreciate. Perfect. 9 of Wands. I like that we have this kind of like haunted house style thing happening in the background. And if you look closely, there's all these faces around the haunted house. Some of them are smiling. Some of them look surprised. But there's all these like little faces. And then the 10 of Wands. Still got a long trek, but he's managing. And we have our Page. Very Rider-Waite-Smith scene here. Our Knight. I love that he's riding a broom. I like our little salamander on the tombstone. Our Queen, she still has a cat and the sunflowers. Those are usually the two things I spot the quickest in a Queen of Wands card. The King. Love him. And now we're on to the cups. All right, so this is typically my favorite suit. I really like how overflowing this cauldron is and all the little tiny hearts kind of bubbling out of the cauldron, and we still have our lotuses. Love that. I like that she has a lotus on her head too. This is so great. It's like a love potion that they're literally hot tubbing in. It says amor here, which is love, potion. And then we have a couple of apples, some roses. You really get a strong, like, sweet romance feel. The Three of Cups. I mean, I have no complaints. This is great. The Four of Cups. So we have potion 1, potion 2, potion 3, and then back here is potion 4. They're all labeled. He's acting like he only has these 3 potions to choose from. But there's a 4th one. Oh, so sad. The cauldron has spilled. Broken cups are everywhere. But behind, there's this mug steaming with love. So there's love and hope behind him. He just has to turn around and see. The Six of Cups. This is sweet and idyllic, which is just how I like my Six of Cups to be. The 7, I love the vending machine concept. I think the first deck I remember seeing this concept for the 7 of Cups was in the Happy Tarot. I do quite like it. I think it's a really fun way to illustrate the 7 of Cups. The Eight of Cups. So it's like he's leaving this gravesite and he's going to go hang out in that gravesite. He's found a better one or a different one. The Nine of Cups. This is very Rider-Waite-Smith. Yeah, it's fine. I'm very picky about this card because it's one of my favorites. So I always love it when it's got a slightly different take. I like the picnic vibes of the Ten of Cups here. It's very sweet. Page of Cups. Again, very Rider-Waite-Smith. Knight of Cups has this full cauldron hanging from his broom. It makes me wonder what if the Knight of Wands had like a wand with him. He did. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is carrying a big bone like that. This is a big wand. And the Knight of Cups has a cup, but also is carrying a cauldron. So you can tell they're very sort of weighted down with their element, which is cool. Our Queen of Cups is in the water. And our King of Cups is also, look at these two. They look like they could be hanging out in the same. Wait a minute. These almost look like they were literally painted together. Because look at the waves. Wait. The waves do match up. I wonder if they match up this way. Is that an Easter egg in this deck? Where's the horizon line? Yeah, it matches up this way though, look. Kinda, doesn't it? Like, look at that line connects. That line connects. The horizon line. That's interesting. Okay, anyway. Funny things you notice. Okay, so now we're on to our Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. I like how the bats are kind of flying around the face there, creating additional confusion and stress. It's kind of how the Two of Swords feels like. The Three of Swords. The Four. What is he snuggling? It looks like he's snuggling like an urchin or like a spiky ball or something. What is that? That's really funny. The Five. Yep. The Six. Oh, it's a skeleton rowing him like kind of through a sea of souls, it almost looks like. That's really interesting. The Seven. We have our sneaky bandit ghost, which you'd think a ghostie probably wouldn't need a mask, because wouldn't they be able to, like, you know, be kind of invisible? I love the color palette on this particular card. The Eight of Swords. He looks pretty good and stuck, but he's in the process of unsticking himself, like sort of freeing himself here. You can see separating himself from this part that's pinned down. Scary. Nine of Swords. It's the first and only time I think in this whole deck that the ghosts look scary and not just adorable. Ten of Swords. Then we have our Page. Our Knight going through the air. We see the wind blowing these flowers, ripping their petals off even, and he's flying into the wind, which is super cool. Then we have our Queen and our King, and now I'm just super curious. Could these have been... No, unless she goes on this side. Yeah, this one doesn't match up quite exactly the way that the Queen and King of Cups did, but that was cool. And then we're on to our Pentacles. So we have our Ace. Two. Oh, I like that we still have the rolling waves like we were used to seeing, but we have these like sort of spirit figures that are circling the pentacles and a little gravestone. So it stays true to the setting. Our Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it pretty much sticks right with the Rider-Waite-Smith. I love, though, this varies, which is super fun. This is the Four of Pentacles, and we can see that he's already got 3 pentacles that he's swallowed, and he's swallowing the 4th one, which is so funny. I love that image. The Five of Pentacles. That's really fun. The Six. Look at her dripping with jewels, and she's like, here, you can have 2 coins. Puts a bit of a different light on that card, hey? When you can really see the difference in wealth between the person who's receiving and the person who's gaining, it does give you that element to work on. I like that we have the scales there on the tombstone, but that's what stands out to me. Some cards, it doesn't take such a strong slant against, like somebody has more than enough and somebody has nothing kind of thing, but it is interesting when it's there. You can read with that element. Then we have our Seven, tending the flowers. Our Eight of Pentacles is pumpkin carving, which is so perfect. Like all these stacked up carved pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns. The Nine of Pentacles. That's lovely. It's like this big bouquet of flowers and just a really big sniff. Such a comfortable, cozy Ten of Pentacles. I do really like when the Ten of Pentacles has that cozy feel. It's super fun. Page of Pentacles. Our Knight. He's got a plant on his head. It's very like sort of slow and stable. The air feels still here. Then we have our Queen and our King. Again, they could be definitely in the same world, but it doesn't look... Yeah, I think it was only in the cups where they really looked like they could connect like that. Really sweet. Okay, so let me zoom us out. So I'm going to do some shuffling and show you what I mean. So hand over hand, it's obviously completely fine, but let me, yeah, there's just no resistance. So it feels squishy, floppy. I've had decks that have been really broken in that sometimes have a bit of that feeling. But again, I haven't used it a ton, and hopefully you can see there's a bit of a wave to the shape of the deck now from just obviously the way that I happen to riffle it. Because like when I'm holding it in my left hand, I'll show you. When I'm holding it in my left hand, I tend to push near this side. And when I'm holding it in my right hand, I push near that side. And then when I riffle them together, right, so it's getting a bit of a wave. And again, I haven't used it that much, but it is a really sweet deck. I'm not meaning to rag on it. I'm really a cardstock nerd, you guys. I've talked about this. I made a freaking 2-hour long video or whatever it is all about cardstock. Like I have feelings about cardstock, but I also really enjoy a good riffle shuffle. So that, my friends, is the Boo Tarot. Oh my gosh, I need to do a better fan. It does fan beautifully. It's not sticky. It's a nice smooth matte cardstock. Look how cute that is. Oh, it's kind of lopsided. Can we straighten it out? Yeah, that's better. Look at that. So cute. That's the Boo Tarot. I would love to hear your thoughts if this is a deck that you are enjoying or playing with, have gotten, would like to get. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you can chime in if you have this deck on what the cardstock feels like to you and like how you would describe it, whether it matters to you or not. That might be helpful for people stumbling on this video. But anyways, thank you guys so much for keeping me company while I kind of took a tour through the cards. I am really enjoying working with this deck. It's really super adorable, and I think this is officially my only super cute October deck. All my other October decks tend to lean a little darker. So this is a lot of fun for me to work with, and I'm just excited to have it. Like, all the production quality stuff aside, it's a fun deck, and I think it was really needed to have something sweet and cute. And like I said, I know a lot of people are going to use this deck throughout the year, but for me, it's probably going to be a Halloween time kind of deck. I would love to hear from you guys, your thoughts on this one. Thank you so much for watching. As always, an extra big thank you out to the Unicorn fam. It really means a lot to me that you support the channel in such a tangible way. I really genuinely appreciate it. To all of the people watching the channel, the fact that you're watching right now means a lot. Your likes and your comments and your subscribes and your bells and all the things that you do to engage with the content, it genuinely makes a difference for what I do here, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you all for joining me, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!